This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, while things may have gone quiet on the TPPA front here, protesters are preparing for their next revolt. Special rigs for special kids put smiles on both young and old and brings tears to the event's organiser. And we take a look at a new project that aims to foster developing businesses in a controlled manner. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. The New Zealand government has signed the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, or TPPA, along with 11 other nations. However, both candidates in the American presidential election say they don't agree with it. And here in Dunedin, the fight against it goes on.
For at least one long-time protester, the fight to stop the TPPA is not over. Jen Olsen first heard about the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement in 2009. She educated herself and joined the organisation It's Our Future.
This is a campaigning network that's been dedicated to opposing the Trans-Pacific Partnership and other trade agreements like it.
Olsen says after being petitioned nationwide, 12 city councils, including Dunedin City Council, adopted a resolution to oppose certain conditions in the agreement. But this hasn't gone as planned.
We now know that all those conditions, none of those conditions were adhered to, and so we're now actually asking councils to declare themselves TPP-free zones, and that is what our latest petition is about.
The TPPA has not yet been ratified by all the participant countries, and it will be some time before the process is complete. Olsen says it is important people know that the fight is not yet over.
There is plenty of time to continue the opposition. We'd like to see it an election issue at the next election. We'd like to see all the parties state what their position is on the TPPA and why. And we'd like to see much more independent reporting of what the effects of the TPPA is likely to be for New Zealand.
There is another demonstration planned for the 10th of September. Olsen says a number of prospective councillors have been enlisted to speak, and she hopes the scale of the event will be much larger than previously. Jack Conroy, 39 Dunedin News.
The Otago Regional Council is putting a call out to bird watchers for assistance in its spring eradication program. ORC Director of Environmental Monitoring and Operations, Scott McLean, is urging residents to keep an eye out for rooks and their nesting sites. The birds are considered a pest because of the extensive damage they can cause to crops and new grass. No chicks have been reported in the last 4 years, meaning the population may no longer be breeding. McLean is asking people not to shoot at or scare the rooks themselves. He says if the birds get a fright, they may scatter and form new rookeries. The city hummed with the sound of hundreds of large engines over the weekend. They were participating in the Special Rigs for Special Kids charity event, and given it was the silver anniversary of the event, some felt it proper to surprise the founder with a memento.
It's all about the kids and the rig drivers that chauffeur them. Yesterday, the 25th running of Special Rigs for Special Kids was the biggest to date for the annual charity event, with hundreds of trucks driving children around the city. More than 200 trucks of all shapes and sizes drove from the starting grid in South Dunedin, going out to Mosgiel and over 3 Mile Hill, before arriving back at the Edgar Centre for a party with drivers, children and caregivers. Later, at a function for the drivers, the biggest surprise of the day was meted out to Rigs for Kids founder Greg Inch.
And we all sat round and we looked at one another and says, do you think we should do it again? We thought it might go for one more time. And that was 24 years ago. Jeez. But Brownie's been hard at it, and I think it's only fair that you unveil this. On it is every company, person, whatever, who has donated goods for the auction. So, go for it. This is not for special rigs. This is for Greg Inch.
Along the way yesterday, what the day meant to people of all ages was evident on every face.
It's not about the companies, it's about the kids, it's about the families, it's about all getting together with the sponsors, all the people that contribute and making a day that really is well worth it for everybody.
I've been here a few times. Yes.
Oh, cool. And what part are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to honking the horn and talking on the thing.
Just the whole interaction from drivers to children to everything. It's just a fantastic day. It humbles you to know that so many people give up a day to come and help support these children.
Because I'm all about the kids.
I just think it's such a fantastic initiative, and it's just a way of contributing. Greg Inch has put in all this effort and contribution in for 25 years. There's truck drivers that have driven every year for 25 years. If I can get along here once every now and again and do a drive, that's just my little bit to add to it.
I liked how everything was loud and the roads were all bumpy.
Each year the event raises funds through an auction, and this year is no exception, with many organisations due to receive donations. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
Labor has accused National of admitting DHBs will end up paying more for food supplied by Compass if they don't sign up with the private contractor. Labor's health spokesperson Annette King says Health Minister Jonathan Coleman is worried about reports of growing discontent with the service. The Southern DHB has faced a long-standing revolt about the quality of their Compass-supplied hospital food. Current Compass food prices depend on all 20 district health boards signing up, but fewer than half have done so. A new shared space for developing businesses opened in the city recently. The project aims to house Dunedin's newest and brightest tech businesses, and the Dunedin couple behind the venture hope it'll enhance the city's creative culture in a controlled fashion.
Businesses under a microscope. Husband and wife team Jason and Kate Lindsay recently purchased number 8 Stafford Street with big plans for its development. Scientists use petri dishes to study the interactions of organisms and culture. The team behind Dunedin's petri dish wished to foster a culture of collegial businesses which can grow in an organic fashion. Kate Lindsay is the face of the business and admits being a bit surprised with just how busy they are.
We allowed a few people to move in early, and just the word of mouth, people have just been dying to come in here. It's a nice space, it's friendly, it's warm, inviting. People are very productive here. There's a lot of collaboration going on. So yeah, no, we're thrilled.
Jason Lindsay says his background in the American media industry is helping with the business.
My background is as a filmmaker, so a lot of the people that we've initially tried to get interested in are other people that work in film and television and other kind of creative media.
The pair have made quite a few changes to the building to get it to fit their needs. Kate Lindsay describes what it was like when they moved in.
The condition of the building when we bought it was fairly similar to what it is now. The space that we're in at the moment was a Pilates studio. So we've just put up a few walls, made some offices, tidied it up with some paint and some windows and made it into a very nice office space.
James Lindsay says just like a petri dish, they hope their organisation can help businesses germinate further.
And one thing that we think is really great about that is the more that you've got creative people in the building, the more that there's that pool of creativity to draw from, which is really great.
The next step in the organism's future is a move into the adjacent room where this space should, they hope, be a hive of activity. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, we take a look at Helen Clark's chances of getting into the UN's top job, and a large virtual resident takes over a city gallery.
Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call 0800 502 402.
It actually changes your mental state. I mean, if you could have a bad day, you could walk in to the house and here's the cat or the dog come up to greet you. No matter how bad a day you've had, it's just disappeared.
Mobility Solutions Centre Dunedin provides products to improve your independence, comfort and safety. Contact the team at 4777 195 or visit mobilitysolutioncentre.co.nz.
So August is our winter sale month, up to 50% off. This winter hasn't been cold enough until now, but we have to get rid of all this stock. We've got all these jackets. Also to keep you warm and me happy, at 50% off, we've got all this knitwear. For all of August, we've got great savings on moleskins and jeans. Plus we've got all these warm shirts, look at them all, from $50.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
First in, best dressed.
Driving Miss Daisy is a safe, friendly and reliable companion driving service.
Hello Jean, where are we off to today?
We form genuine friendships with our clients and help them to remain independent. Thousands of Driving Miss Daisy clients and their families love our caring, affordable service. Call us today for a quote on 0800 948 432 or visit drivingmissdaisy.co.nz. Driving Miss Daisy for the gift of independence.
Wooltech have the experience and the expertise to supply a wide range of high-quality New Zealand-made products and can manufacture customised products to meet your individual requirements. Wooltech, great people, great products, great service.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
Thinking of services for older people? Think Enliven. Enliven is a service philosophy where people come first. Enliven is about choice, activity, relationships, respect and security. You can enliven your health, your friendships, your life, no matter what your age. For more information, go to psotago.org.nz or call 4777 115.
Dunedin's got an immensely rich artistic lineage.
It's brightening a wall which would otherwise go unnoticed.
The work seems to have another life when they start to interact.
Welcome back. 3 Otago Polytechnic scholarship winners will soon be on their way to Shanghai. They'll be attending a 14-week exchange at the Shanghai University of International Business and Economics. Shuhail Tsuba, Lee Ralph and Frederica Robertson will study business, economics and Chinese language and culture. They're assisted by the Prime Minister's Scholarships for Asia, which seeks to strengthen educational and business ties and improve the international skills of the New Zealand workforce. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 21 points. It's now at 7,388. The Dow Jones is up 108 points. And to the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is up against the yen, the pound and the euro, but we are down against the greenback and the Australian dollar. Former Prime Minister Helen Clark's bid to become the next head of the United Nations appears to be on the rocks. This despite the efforts of Prime Minister John Key and Foreign Affairs Minister Murray McCully. To discuss what Ms Clark's chances actually are, international relations expert Robert Patman joins me now. Good evening.
Good evening, Rebecca.
What's the latest you've heard about Ms Clark's chances of getting this job?
Well, what we know is that we've just gone through the third round of the so-called ballots, we must make clear that this is a ballot amongst the 15 members of the UN Security Council, not the membership as a whole, which is 193 in strength. We know that I think from Helen Clark's point of view, a slightly disappointing performance. She hoped to push forward, but she's actually, in terms of the pecking order, she came second. She came seventh the second time round. She's now come seventh again. The good news is the field will contract because it looks like the bottom two candidates will now drop out, and that could change the dynamics of the contest. So you can't always predict from one round to the next exactly how it's going to go.
What are Prime Minister John Key and Minister McCulley actually doing to help her bid?
Oh, I think they've been talking to leaders and actually lobbying them. And unfortunately, Mr. Obama politely said that his administration was supporting the Argentinian foreign minister, Susana Malcorra. And the Russians have been quite upfront. They're supporting the Bulgarian candidate. They want an Eastern European to be the next UN Secretary General. And the Chinese position is not quite clear. And I think the British and the French are supporting, it seems, the former Portuguese Foreign Minister Antonio Guterres. So at the moment, Helen Clark is coming, if she's going to make progress, it's got to be because the first preferences of the P5 group, the permanent members of the Security Council, they can't prevail because they can veto each other's first choice, you see, so that can lead to some movement. She may come through as the compromise candidate.
Before the ballot started, she was widely rumoured to be in with quite a chance of getting this role. Was that just a made-up rumour?
No, not at all.
So what's changed?
Helen Clark is probably, if the General Assembly picked the nomination, she'd probably be in the top three, even the top two. She is widely admired and regarded as very competent. But the thing is, the permanent 5 members of the Security Council are not necessarily representative of the UN as a whole. The reason is they have a privilege that no one else has, which is the veto, and they jealously guard that privilege. And they want somebody as UN Secretary General, more of a flexible diplomat, a figurehead, if you want to be unkind, rather than a strong leader. So in a sense, Helen Clark may be a victim of her own competence and also her vision. She clearly wants to make the UN work. And from the P5's group, it already works, but it doesn't, for the rest of the UN membership, it doesn't work particularly well.
Do you think there's a bit of an old boys network thing going on here, sort of, I'll give you my vote if you do this for me when you get in?
I'm not sure about that, Rebecca. I think I think Russia and US are really conflicted in what they want. And one of the things is, as the field contracts, and by the way, we can go through this process of these straw ballots this can go on. There's no fixed number. They just hope to come up with a name they can agree on. But I think we have to go through several more rounds before we get clarity. So I think Helen Clark's position, to sum up, is she's got to win from behind, if you see what I mean. And she's got to win when the P5 members recognise they can't get their first choice and they look upon her. I think the Americans would certainly see Helen Clark as an acceptable second choice. I'm not sure the Russians would, and it would depend on what the British. I think the British probably would as well. French, I don't know.
What would it mean for New Zealand if she was successful?
I think it would mean a lot, because I think if Helen Clark got to if she got in the top job in the UN, she would, I think, be a dynamic leader, and I think she would make the UN work better. In other words, I think the major impact would be on the UN itself, but being a small player that needs an effective international organisation, that also works for us as well.
Professor of International Relations, Robert Patman, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, elephant art lovers are in for a real treat, and we'll take a look at weather for Wednesday.
Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call 0800 502 402.
Driving Miss Daisy is a safe, friendly and reliable companion driving service.
Hello Jean, where are we off to today?
We form genuine friendships with our clients and help them to remain independent. Thousands of Driving Miss Daisy clients and their families love our caring, affordable service. Call us today for a quote on 0800 948 432 or visit drivingmissdaisy.co.nz. Driving Miss Daisy, for the gift of independence.
Dunedin's got an immensely rich artistic lineage.
It's brightening a wall which would otherwise go unnoticed.
The work seems to have another life when, you know, they start to interact.
We're a 25 Moray place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
So August is our winter sale month, up to 50% off. This winter hasn't been cold enough until now, but we have to get rid of all this stock. We've got all these jackets. Also to keep you warm and me happy, at 50% off, we've got all this knitwear. For all of August, we've got great savings on moleskins and jeans. Plus we've got all these warm shirts, look at them all, from $50.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
First in, best dressed.
Mobility Solutions Centre Dunedin provides products to improve your independence, comfort and safety. Contact the team at 4777 195 or visit mobilitysolutioncentre.co.nz.
We need your help to rebuild our animal centre urgently. Please give a little today.
Actually changes your mental state. I mean, if you could you could have a bad day, you could walk in to the house and here's the cat or the dog come up to greet you. No matter how bad a day you've had, it's just disappeared.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. The Dunedin Public Art Gallery has become home to a very large virtual resident. It's part of an installation by Scottish artist Douglas Gordon, and the gallery says it's a coup to have an artist of his calibre showing in town.
Playing dead in real time. Elephants are big. I mean really big. Unless you've seen them up close, you just won't believe how mind-bogglingly big they are. Scottish artist Douglas Gordon filmed a circus elephant obeying a series of commands in a New York studio while filming it. The result is now at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery. Director Cam McCracken says it's a total coup for the city to have this exhibition here.
It meant a lot to the gallery to have a work by an artist of the stature of Gordon showing with us. We have a wide remit in our exhibition program, and international content is really important to us.
McCracken says one of the technicians from Douglas Gordon's gallery stayed in the city for a week, overseeing the installation of the work.
We have had the pleasure of having one of the technicians from Douglas Gordon's studio be with us for a week to help us install the work. But we have made investments in technology and AV technology, and we've bought some screens especially to show the work. So it's a very top-notch technical presentation.
The blurb promoting the exhibition mentions the elephant is subject to forces beyond its control. McCracken describes the exhibition, and when asked was as certain as he could be that the animal wasn't mistreated in any way.
An elephant in an art gallery space in New York. It's a 19-minute presentation, and the elephant is standing up, goes through a routine of standing, lying down and then getting back up to her feet.
He says when you look at the video, you can see the animal isn't showing any signs of distress, describing it as a happy and well-treated animal. Play Dead Real Time is on at the Dunedin Public Art Gallery until February next year. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Opponents of the TPPA are planning another protest to show their continued resistance to the agreement which our government has already signed. The 25th annual Special Rigs for Special Kids event held at the weekend was among the biggest yet, with more than 200 trucks driving youngsters around town. And a new shared space for developing businesses opened in the city recently, aiming to house Dunedin's newest and brightest tech entrepreneurs. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times, we're joined by editor Barry Stewart. Hello.
Hello, Rebecca.
Are you the elephant in the room?
That's a difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room, possibly.
Okay.
Anyway, I've got some good information for you.
Goody, let's hear it.
Does that help? Several options are on the table for South Dunedin stormwater infrastructure, but it looks like the new councillors on the Dunedin City Council will have to vote on that next year. Paul Bailey, who has been in jail since 1991 for the murder of teen Kylie Smith, has been denied parole again, and it looks like he will spend at least another 5 more years in jail. And the best part of your day, of course, is reading the newspaper at breakfast, but we have some other inspirational ideas for you to combine that. So we have some recipes for healthy breakfast eating in fresh. So have a look for that. DCC building consents are on time, and despite being up by 65%, so they've certainly lifted their game there.
Wow, they certainly seem to have. Details in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times.
Yes.
Thank you, Barry. Time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
And here is our city view. It's taken off St Kilda from Brockville. On a rather nice day, when that was taken, around the city at 3 o'clock, 12 degrees in the central city and the gardens, 13 out on the Tyree. To the situation, the ridge of high pressure is covering the country now, and from Thursday, a mild northwest flow will increase ahead of a weakening front that's due on Friday. Around to some of the main towns in the lower south for tomorrow, fine with nor'westers for Invercargill, fine weather for Gore and Alexandra, cloud increasing in Tiana with nor'westers and a high of 14. And it's a fine one for Queenstown, Wanaka and Twizel, also fine in Oamaru with afternoon nor'easters and a high of 13 degrees. And Dunedin tonight, fine with light frosts in sheltered places. Tonight's low is 0. Tomorrow, fine with cool nor'easters, 13 degrees. And on Thursday, high cloud increasing with nor'westers freshening and brief rain from evening, 17. To the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, low tide tomorrow morning is at 9:20. And fishing conditions look bad tomorrow, so we recommend giving it a miss. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.